record. Bam. All right. We are here with another episode of the Believe Show, or 313 Believe, more specifically. I'm your host, Harry Berberian, and we are going to have fun with Detroit entrepreneurs that we specifically focus in on. And we've got an amazing guest today. His name is Brad Gutov of AU Precious Metals.com. And Brad, welcome to the Believe Show. We're talking about all things Detroit and specifically Detroit entrepreneurs and how these Metro Detroit entrepreneurs have been affected by, the COVID-19, the coronavirus, both in a positive way and a negative way. I hear you sell gold and silver, and boy, Detroit, we're running out of, not running out of money, but we spent a lot of money on this coronavirus, and it's nice to know that we got people, selling gold and silver and all those precious metals out there that, for people that are afraid of their future and all that good stuff. So welcome to the show.
Yo, what up, Harry? What up, man? I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you are absolutely correct, man. My phones have been blowing up for the last 6 to 8 weeks since the governor shut down the state.
Yes.
The biggest reasons, there's two of them.
By the way, I don't have a problem with the governor shutting down the state, not to get political, but all right, go on.
Not here to debate that one way or the other, just stating facts, brother. So, so two reasons that I receive phone calls. The most phone calls have been people wanting to invest in precious metals.
Okay.
Right?
Really? Like people like, oh my God, my money, I don't know anything about the markets and stocks are going down. I want to invest in precious metals.
Right. So this becomes the fear trade, right? People get nervous. They see their stocks going like this and they're like, holy shit, I'm not making money.
Right.
Why am I not? Oh my God. Like everything was great. I had a job last week. I was making money. Now the government is printing off $5 trillion.
Yeah. What does that mean that the government is printing off $5 trillion and the government is not manufacturing gold and silver and rhodium to give to us all?
Well, they are creating debt, which eventually I believe will turn into inflation, right? So somewhere kick the can down the road, and these wonderful $1 a gallon gas prices that we're enjoying today will skyrocket. Maybe not gas. Maybe that problem's worked out and that's why that's so low. But I'll tell you what, a month ago, I could go to the local Kroger and I could buy cucumbers. One cucumber, 59 cents a piece.
Okay.
I was there on Friday. One cucumber, 79 cents per piece. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but I think that's about a 30% increase.
So you already seeing inflation?
Maybe it's already jumping in. I mean, that's
sure you were shopping at the same.
Maybe it's not inflation because maybe there's a supply issue, which we're still trying to understand. And that could cause
hold on. Now, it's quite possible, though, if you really think about it. We're in a quarantine, and a lot of these women are alone at home. And it's and those sex stores are closed, and there is a small possibility that the price of cucumbers.
There's children listening, Harry.
Do I have a good point? Maybe it's not tied to inflation at all.
Listen, we do live in Detroit. Anything is possible, right?
But a lot of good things happen.
I've walked by Noir Leather.
Sure, we've all walked by. But a lot of good things happen in Detroit. Bad things happen. But
absolutely. Detroit's the greatest city on earth, man.
Yeah, Detroit, it's a resilient city. That's why we're the Believe Show, because we believe in the 313, and we love talking about adversity. We love talking about coming back from adversity, and that's why we love interviewing entrepreneurs that have been through it. Has your business been through adversity and you were able to bounce back?
So AU Precious Metals began in 2011. All
Okay.
right. And so most people listening to this show are probably not very familiar with precious metals.
Right.
And so that being said, 2011, around this time, in fact, in that year, we saw a 10-year bull market come to a screeching halt.
In 2007, yeah.
In 2011.
Or 11, okay.
So 2001 is when that was born,
Mhm.
and that looks like, well, let's do it like this.
Yipes.
It looks kind of like that, right? So the bottom side is probably
So
let's
wait,
see,
you're
that's 2005.
so you're
This side
saying
over
that
here,
so you're
2005.
okay.
This is 2011 up here, and I started my business around that time. So
Right when
what
gold and
happened?
silver was going down. It was going
They
down.
were like a knife. Like, watch my phone
Right.
falling.
Right.
Okay, and so I learned how to build my business
Mm-hmm.
in this declining market. Okay.
Wow.
And each year we have been fortunate enough to pick up steam
Wow.
and to learn and adapt and grow. And
Wow.
so we are here to understand your needs,
Mhm.
anyone's needs out there. I'm going to ask a ton of questions, whether you're somebody looking to sell scrap to me or you're
Right.
somebody looking to buy
Wait,
a bull.
so you're saying that, like, in this crazy economy, in this coronavirus economy now, there may be inflation after this whole thing. God willing, there's not. But you're saying that you'll buy somebody's 2 pounds of gold scrap metal. And what is scrap? What is scrap again? Scrap is what? Like if I had like some.
Scrap by definition is something you don't want,
Okay.
right? And it has value still, right?
So what if I have
so-
like 10 gold bricks? Is that considered scrap?
Well, kind of, it could. So when you say bricks, when I melt down gold jewelry, for example,
Uh-huh.
and it's all liquid molten, and
Okay.
then I pour it into a mold that's going to look like a brick. Now, Harry, if you're an investor,
Okay.
that brick's not going to do you any justice.
Okay.
Because if I get hit by a car tomorrow and you have to go sell it to somebody else, they have to have the technology that I have on site to be able to test that and properly understand what it is.
Yeah.
As
So-
opposed to, I'm going to finish this thought and then I'll let you ask the question.
Yeah.
If you walk into my office and you have something like this,
Wow.
a gold 1 ounce maple leaf, and you walk in with something like that,
Wow.
it's very recognizable. So now I need less equipment to understand the asset.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you say, would I melt a bar? Maybe, depends on what it is.
So let me ask you this. Let's say you're melting down 14 karat and you got some 18 karat, you got some 24 karat jewelry. So you have the technology to be able to siphon away the wheat from the chaff. Like, you know how to take the other metals out of there and make it pure gold.
So that's a two-part question, right? So the first part of the question is, do I understand the chemistry involved in separating metals?
Yeah.
And so I understand the how and the why. I choose not to do it.
Interesting. So you make a 14 karat gold bar then?
It could be 14. It could be mixed with other things. So the best way that I describe how I melt metal is like, hey, have you ever made a chicken noodle soup at home?
Yeah.
Or have you ever made a spaghetti sauce from scratch?
Maybe kind of.
So you throw everything into a pot, right? You get all your ingredients, you throw them all in, and you take it to a boil, and then you let it just kind of simmer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And providing that it boiled and things are stirred and spread out properly, it should be homogeneous.
Right.
So what that means for those that are unfamiliar with that word is it should be evenly spread.
Mm-hmm.
So I can now trust that no matter where that bar is tested.
Okay.
And by the way, I use what's called Xrf Spectrometer Technology.
People don't know what that is.
So that is an X-ray. So
Okay.
I shoot this piece with an aperture that's about the size of a dime.
You're getting real scientific now. You're getting
it
really.
looks at a very specific spot, right?
Yeah.
That was for James.
That was from James?
No, that was for James.
Oh,
We won't say a
by the
last
way,
name.
shout out
though,
to
right?
James. Shout out to James Silver, my boss, and our friend James Silver. If you want to sell real estate for the most amount of money, shout out to James T. Silver. He is, after all, underwriting our whole show.
Of course.
James silverteamsells.com.
What? So any of that. So this aperture looks at this little spot. We take a few tests to make sure that it is homogeneous.
Mm-hmm.
And once we do, we can take an average, and that average will tell us exactly what we have. So to answer your question of 14 karat, without getting too technical this time, should be 58.3% pure. It rarely would come out to that number. You look perplexed.
No, I didn't know that 14 karat was like considered 58% pure.
Do you want me to get into
so
how
14 karat is over half gold? I didn't know that. I always thought of 14 karat. Oh, only 14% of it is
all right.
gold.
So let me. I wasn't going to get into it today, but I can get into it.
No, but that makes sense, because when you compare,
like you need an explanation.
Well, no, but hold on. Let's not get too deep. But it makes sense now when you think about 14 versus 24. That's like 54% or 58%.
It's like 58.3%.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is, Harry. You take a number such as 14, which is the top number.
Okay.
Right? I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. And you divide that by 14.
Okay.
Right? And if you did that, you would get a number of 58.3, right?
Right.
So for simplicity, let's use a number that somebody can do in their head. Okay. 18 divided by 24. That's 3/4 of 24, right?
Yeah.
What does 3/4 represent in a percentage?
75%.
Boom. 18 karat is 75% pure gold.
Wow.
So in other words, so now 12 karat would be 50%. So back to your realization of, 14 is a little bit, is around 58. So 12 karat in a perfect world would be half of 24.
Okay. By the way, I have this little guy. I have like a little tiny baby gold coin.
That one is a American Gold Eagle, I think.
Yeah.
So that's,
how much is that worth?
Mistaken, is a smaller version
of
this
one of your. Yeah, flip it around. Yeah, it is. It's like the baby version of it.
Yeah. So this is a 1 ounce gold American Eagle.
And how much is that today? How much do you buy that one for?
How much do I buy it for?
Or how much does one buy it for today?
You know, it's a fast moving target right now. Okay. About 4 weeks ago, for the first time in 5 years, we've experienced a shift in cost on premium.
Okay.
And so in order for me to accurately answer that, I would have to look it up.
Okay, but just give me a rough guesstimate.
Probably 8% over the spot price. So I'm going to say, let's call spot 1,700 times 8% over, about 1,835 probably.
1,835.
Give or take 1 or 2%.
And how much is my little baby thing worth?
So that's an interesting one. So what happens with bullion is the smaller the denomination, the larger the increase in percentages for premium. So what happens is, the people that run these mints, they're kind of intelligent, right? They understand supply and demand. Mm-hmm. And so they understand that there's a larger pool of capital that has $100 compared to $2,000. So in order to offset costs, because it's the same amount of work to make 1 ounce compared to, I think your piece is a 1/10 or 1/20th troy ounce piece. The work is the same to make that piece as it is to make that 1 ounce piece, right? Mm-hmm. So the cost is probably about 10% higher that it would sell for in the marketplace.
So it's a couple $100.
Yeah. It's going to cost you, just the premium itself is going to cost you $150.
So you're an extremely technical guy. It seems like now knowing you now, like you got to be. It seems like you have to have like a mathematician type of mind to be successful in your business. Do you have any like interesting stories where somebody came in with like a treasure chest full of cold coins and you were blown away? Anything interesting in aupreciousmetals.com stories?
So one day I got a phone call from this gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
He was in his early 60s.
Okay.
And he called me. His father had passed away a few months earlier,
Okay.
and he was the executor of the estate.
Okay.
And he says, "Hey, I need to come and bring a bunch of what we call junk silver, or pre-1964 quarters, dimes, half dollars." And he says, "I need to sell those to you along with some gold American Eagles." And the purpose that I need to sell these, my dad saved all this stuff. His dying wish was to keep my mom and my handicapped brother in a house. And obviously I'm speaking as if I was this gentleman. So he comes in several times and we did business 3 or 4 different times, typically anywhere from like $35,000 to $45,000 at a pop. But by the way, we also do smaller transactions.
Wait. Hold on.
Whoa.
So you're saying that 35, 40. So you're saying what? This guy comes in, like, how did he find all this gold and where was it? And what, he comes in with like barrels full of gold and silver? What the hell?
I wish they were barrels, but great question. So what happened was his mom and dad and brother, they lived on a farm in northern Macomb County. And his dad had mapped out where all of these precious metals were buried. They were all in a particular acre, maybe surrounded by a tree. I don't know. I don't remember. It's a few years ago now that this actually happened. But he dug up a bunch of gold and silver. The first transaction, he brought me a $1,000 bag of 90% silver. So they were all quarters. So every 4 quarters equals $1 times 1,000. So there was 4,000 quarters in this bag, right? So we sift through that. We determine a price on that, purchase that from him, purchase a bunch of gold bullion. I believe they were gold eagles that he brought. And
what year? I mean, they have to have some numismatic value.
So I don't recall the years exactly, but I can tell you.
How many gold eagles are we talking about, man? I love gold coins.
So this here is a sleeve of silver 1-ounce coins, right? He brought numerous sleeves at various times of gold eagles.
Just like that. How many of those things did he think he?
We probably bought 10 to 20 gold coins at a time from him.
Where did this father get all this money? Was he a bank robber?
He was a farmer. He was in agriculture here in the state of Michigan. Once upon a time, he was making money, perhaps.
Wow, dude.
Maybe he, while, some people like to go to Hawaii every year, maybe he said, hey, we're just going to stay home and we're going to be able to live on the hog the rest of our life. Maybe he just
kept burying gold coins and silver coins. And
hey, have you ever read the book A Millionaire Next Door?
Yeah.
I mean, some people live very, very conservative and they store their wealth in different ways. So this guy was kind of a doomsdayer. His son also told me that he found barrels of rice and beans.
Wow.
Like, just in case, Y2K was a thing.
Barrels of rice and beans.
Yeah.
Rice, beans, and gold and silver.
Listen, I have a buddy, you know who he is, who refuses to leave his house here during COVID-19.
Could that be James?
And I wouldn't be surprised if he has a barrel of rice and beans hanging out in his basement next to all his guns.
I've heard that he has like a bunker made out of gold that's underneath his house. That it's just gold. It's gold painted silver.
So you're talking about a product called gold leaf.
Yes.
Now gold leaf. This is an interesting conversation.
I know about gold leaf.
Harry, you've just, like, if you were a woman, I just got turned on.
Okay. Cool.
But you're not a woman, so I'm not turned on. But any event, gold leaf is, in some forms, it's actually a foil that's pure gold.
Yeah.
But then there's also another product they call gold leaf that they use to gild picture frames. Like if you've ever seen an antique looking picture that has a nice gold look to it,
The
it's gold leaf.
The Armenian church in Southfield has gold leaf on its.
Right, of course. Yeah, the one right off of the Lodge Freeway.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fascinating. So
yeah,
what about gold leaf? What about gold leaf fascinates you? That James has this incredible bunker underneath his house made of silver that's encrusted with gold leaf.
Well, you know, I don't even know what to say to that. You know, one, I can't believe that he would spend the money on it.
No, he wouldn't. No. But I could see him having a bunker.
Now he may tell you he has an investment, and you know, in a bunch of other ones. He might tell you to buy some Bitcoin.
Right. And what do you think of Bitcoin, by the way? I mean, Bitcoin is the new crypto. It's the cryptocurrency. You're buying a source code. My friend Mike Enzel, shout out to him. He got me involved in it. I have some money in it. James T. Silver pays me right now in crypto. I know you're going to laugh, but he does. And so I'm taking a huge gamble. I could lose it all, or I could make a bunch of money. So the thing is this economy is kind of maybe on the verge of a collapse with this whole coronavirus currency.
Oh no, it's already collapsed.
It's already collapsed.
We saw a 4.8% decrease in GDP.
Yeah, people are running to people like you to get their gold and silver at aupreciousmetals.com. And then they're also, I think, investing in crypto. So what do you see? Like crypto, you hate crypto?
So I'm not a big fan of crypto. I kind of understand it, but
I think it's kind of creepy.
The big question mark in my mind about crypto is, why is that any different than fiat currency? And my concern is, you know, maybe we get lucky and people hear this show around the country, but let's just assume that it's just Michiganders that hear this show. And if you do, and you're over 17 years of age, actually, if you're over 29 years of age, let's say, you probably remember August of 2003 when we had a brownout. Now, like, this is a little crazy, but what if for some reason we lost power? Now you have access to none of your wealth that's in cryptocurrencies. So that I don't like personally. Not to mention, I see Bitcoin as a $100 bill that they advertise. There's only, 21 or 24 million coins?
21 million.
Okay, so there's 21 million coins available that I believe can be sliced into 1 million coins. So you could have 1/1,000,000th of one Bitcoin as a fraction.
Yes.
Okay, so now we get to, what's the next most valued crypto?
I don't know. Bitcoin Cash.
Okay, so let's use that as an example. So that's going to be a finite number because it's an algorithm that has to hatch that eventually is going to have value. And so people are buying in. And so let's call that the $50 bill that can be sliced up in so many different pieces.
So you're just scared that crypto can be sliced up, and so you don't think it has intrinsic value.
Exactly. I feel like it's the same thing. We're not eliminating the problem of the government printing off $5 trillion because they are saying, hey, we're going to pump the economy full of cash to keep people afloat, which, I mean, great that they're doing that because people need to eat. Most importantly, who cares about their rent and things like that? But they need to be able to go buy food for their families.
Right.
And take care of their children and loved ones that way.
Right.
So if there's no value to currency, how do they get food?
Right. So but I would say now, based on what you're saying, is gold and silver, platinum, number one, then fiat, then Bitcoin, and then fiat currency. Because Bitcoin and crypto only have a limited supply, whereas fiat currency can be printed all day long, which is like what they're doing now.
So
I want one of those. You have to give me. Please. That's gold.
So I don't know that
but you
I
can't
agree.
wait, but you can't go. Okay, let's say the power grid is shut down. Let's say Bitcoin is useless. You can't go into Kroger's and exchange that for food.
This I cannot. What I'm currently holding in my hand is 14 karat gold, white gold necklace, right? That I cannot walk in currently with.
Can you buy a big screen TV, a couch, and well, no. You'd want
this? With this? Currently I cannot.
Right.
But in time, I could very easily with this.
What do you mean in time? Gold's been around forever. When is that time going to happen?
So like if the masses decided that money, paper money, fiat currency has no value, then they have to decide what else they're willing to accept, right? So now it's actually the bartering system.
But come on, people are not going to be walking around with gold in their pockets and silver.
Today they're not. So you think that they're not. I mean, I don't know. Listen, I know you're a super smart guy, Harry. Do you have X-ray vision?
No, like, I'm just saying there might be like an app on our phone that has access to our gold supply or whatever, and that every time you make a transaction, you delete some of your gold supply or something, and it gets traded.
I think you're making it more difficult than it should be with that statement. I think, well, and again, I think that it's the same problem with like cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
This technology has to be involved. So the reason that lots of investors like gold and silver, like there's these things, you know, I'm going to put it out there, like, you know, some people are going to want to invest with the products that I have,
right?
Because they don't want to physically hold it, touch it, feel it, look at it, know that no matter what, they have wealth. Other people are going to go to what's called an exchange traded fund, an ETF.
Yeah.
So they're going to trade products like the GLD or the SLV. These are products that mirror the physical price of gold and silver.
Okay.
With me, you're going to pay a premium to buy products, and depending on the product, the premiums will vary. You're going to sell them back to me, sometimes at a discount, maybe at a premium to current market.
Okay. You're getting real technical. You're getting real technical.
I'm hitting the point home now.
Right.
You can get in on an SLV or the GLD, depending on your trading platform, for $7. So if you like to allow someone else to be in the driver's seat, then that's a great product for you. You're still invested in precious metals. Most precious metal investors are afraid of what is going on in the world.
Yeah.
And so they want to physically hold product in their hands.
So now's the time to get into precious metal. We're going to wrap this part of the show up. So basically, where can people find you?
They can find me at 142 South Street in Rochester, Michigan.
Okay.
You can call me directly at 248-521-0660.
They're already calling you.
I'm telling you, you heard that, huh?
Right.
And you can go to my website at www.aupreciousmetals.com.
And what's the AU stand for?
American United. We stand.
Perfect. And we got to unite it. We got to unite. And so this is a perilous time we're living in. It's an interesting rebirth time. These bats and pangolins got together in China to, you know, well, I think they have the right to kind of release this virus, and however it came about. And now people are, you know, the industry's, the economy it's on the verge. And so we got to invest in gold and silver, and Brad Gutov is the man. So thank you so much for coming on the Believe Show. We're 313believe.com. We're all things Detroit. We focus in on Detroit, Metro Detroit entrepreneurs. Shout out to Brad Gutov again, Mike Anzel, my Kenny B, and all the people that help out with the show, Shannon and all the rest. So thank you so much. Check us out. I'm Harry Berberian, and we'll have another episode coming up with Brad. Thank you again.
I look forward to it. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you.